Howdy, folks. It's time for a Little Town Tidbits Q&A edition. I received several questions, and I'm going to bookend this with some people that you may know from the Little House world. Cindy Wilson, author of The Beautiful Snow and We Suffered Much, asks this. What was a misconception you had about Jenny that has changed since you did your research? Well, I took Laura at her word when I first read the books, and I thought that Nellie Olson was a particularly nasty person. So in my research, I figured out that, there's no evidence to support that. I wondered if there would be enough to write about. And so it was delightfully surprising to find that there was enough to fill a novel. So, yes. Clarita on TikTok asks, what is your opinion of the new Netflix adaptation of Little House on the Prairie coming out? Well, Clarita, I am cautiously optimistic. The trailer captures the cozy, comforting ambiance that we get from the books. The costumes look really good. I'm a little nervous because the characters seem aged up. Will Carrie be born during the series? Because she's missing from the trailer. Cindy from Palmetto asks, have you been to any of the Little House locations? Oh, I have. Samantha from Orlando asks, did Laura ever wish she could have a different career even if it wasn't acceptable for women back then? What an interesting question, Samantha. When Laura Ingalls Wilder was an adult, she was the secretary treasurer of the Mansfield Farm Loan Association. In the books, she wrote a lot about financial insecurity, and as an adult, she helped a lot of people manage their finances. It was probably unusual for a woman, but she was really proud of the difference that she made. Wendy McClure of the Land of Laura podcast wants to know, what is the working title of your book? The working title of my book is called Don't Call Me Nellie. Alicia from Tampa inquires, did Genevieve Masters get married and stay in Smet? No, Alicia. She married William Graham Renwick in 1888, and they moved out to Washington State and then later to Chicago. Jennifer from Pennsylvania asks, did Genevieve Masters and the other girls that inspired Nellie Olson have children and grandchildren? How did their descendants respond to Nellie's reputation in the Little House books and TV series? I can only speak about the descendants of Nellie Owens. That's because the fabulous Allison Arngrim has visited her descendants in Tillamook, Oregon. They seem to be proud of their heritage. I've never met them, but I would love to. Gabrielle from the Netherlands asks, why did you start researching this book, and was there anything that inspired you? I am a mother, and I reread the Little House books a few years ago. It struck me that Nellie was a child and a young teenager. Children don't always understand what others are going through, and the only thing that Laura knew is how Nellie made her feel. The people who inspired Nellie were learning how to navigate their own bodies and sense of self in the world when the books were set. It kind of unnerved me to think of someone writing a book where you appear as the most awkward version of yourself and making mistakes. I wanted to know the stories behind these people. I looked, I didn't find any stories. When I delved in, I found a lot of info and I thought, this should be a novel. I kept thinking about it and I realized if it was going to be written, it had to be by me. Eric Fairchild, owner and proprietor of the Prairie House Manor in Smet, asks, how is Genevieve Masters related to the Masters of Walnut Grove? I'm glad you asked that, Eric. Genevieve's Uncle William and Aunt Emmeline ran the hotel in Walnut Grove in Burr Oak, Iowa. The Ingalls family moved to Burr Oak to work with the Masters at the hotel there, and they also occasionally worked at the hotel in Walnut Grove. I'm so grateful for all your feedback. Thanks for watching.